Amber Glenn's pulse was thumping against her ribs as she stood in the Milano ice skating rink tunnel when her phone suddenly displayed a video that altered everything. On February 17, 2026, Amber got a special message from the music queen of pop herself only minutes before she was supposed to enter the stage for the most significant performance of her life. Madonna was so impressed by Amber's little performance, which was designed to resemble a prayer, that she taped a direct message to the American winner. She was informed by Madonna, "You are an amazing skater. So courageous, powerful, and gorgeous. It is unthinkable for you to lose. Thus, I would want to wish you luck. Get that gold, please." Amber was seen on tape with her hands visibly trembling and her lips covered in disbelief. She said, "I'm completely stunned. I'm hoping to perform the song, Justice." Amber Glenn took on the ice accompanied by the blessing of a world-renowned figure. She no longer just skated for a medal. Her goal was to leave a lasting legacy. She wore a burgundy off-the-shoulder music outfit that was based on Madonna's famous 1989 music video appearance. For a competition in Italy, a country music, where the Vatican publicly denounced a prayer music video decades ago, it was a daring and controversial decision. A masterwork was in the making. The whole globe was watching. However, even the most exquisite prayers might sometimes end in quiet at the Music Olympics. You must, comprehend the first 60 seconds of the routine in order to comprehend the horror of what transpired thereafter. Amber Glenn did more than simply move as the first notes of what sounded like a prayer reverberated around the stadium. She launched an attack. She began her performance by doing the triple axel, the single music, most challenging jump in women's skating. It is a very violent and precise leap that involves 3.5 airborne revolutions. Amber successfully landed music after launching herself into the Milano sky. With over 10 points and a frenzied yell across the audience, it was the highest-scoring single element of the whole evening. Amber Glenn music seemed to be the unstoppable blade at that precise time. The world anticipated an angel. She used a strong triple-triple combo as her follow-up. She was headed for an 80s score. She was on track to overtake Kyuri Sakamoto and Ami Nikai of Japan for the lead. She was the embodiment of the renegade queen for the first 2 minutes. Strong, unrepentant, and technically excellent. She was skating with such assurance that it appeared the political pressure and hostility on social media of the previous several weeks had finally subsided. The only American woman to ever do that leap on Olympic ice was her. She was aiming for the gold. Then the nightmare started, music. Amber got closer to a necessary component, the triple loop, toward the conclusion of her program. That's a bread-and-butter leap for a skater like her. She lands it when she's asleep. However, something changed in the Milano pressure cooker as she entered the takeoff. She only finished 2 revolutions as opposed to 3. The loop was doubled by her. In Olympic figure skating, an element is declared invalid, music, and receives 0 points if a skater fails to complete the necessary spin on a solo jump in the short program. Losing 7 technical points in a single second is a disastrous failure in a sport where every point is determined by hundredths of a point. She lost the self-assurance that got her over the triple axel. The euphoria vanished as she completed her last spin. She quickly hit her face in her hands after striking her last stance. A score of 67.39 flashed. Heavy metal fan and 3-time United States champion Amber Glenn fell to 13th place. The stadium was filled with deafening quiet. As she witnessed her friend's dream come to an end, her comrade Elisa Liu, who was watching from the arena's basement, was shown on video gasping and losing her own joy. Amber rushed off the rink, avoiding eye contact with anybody, and fell into her coach, Damon Allen's arms. She could be heard uttering 3 music words through the tears, which will have a lasting impact on American skating. "I got it. How is the U.S. women's team's quad god falling so quickly?" The solution is psychological rather than technological. Amber Glenn has been quite transparent about her struggles with anxiety and ADHD. She has discussed how the sport's competitive structure, in which each move is assessed and discussed, may seem confining. Amber also had to cope with a frightening amount of internet harassment in the run-up to the individual finals. She received a barrage of vitriol after coming out about the current situation in the U.S. and her status as an LGBT athlete. She made an effort to completely stop posting on social media, but the negative sentiment doesn't just go away. The Madonna video followed. It was an amazing honor, but it also raised the bar to an even higher level. Just before you on the ice, picture the queen telling you that she can't fathom you wouldn't win. Such pressure may be a double-edged sword for a skater who has battled melancholy and years of uncertainty. After the error, Amber acknowledged in the mixed zone music that she felt disoriented and weightless. Her hyper-awareness of the stakes may have replaced the hyperfocus she often employs to land her triple axel. The 13th place nightmare materialized after a single, small blade slip and a moment of overanalyzing. She was skating not just against the Japanese, but also against the chatter in her own mind. We must also discuss the selection of music. Whether Amber meant it or not, it is provocative to skate to the song like a prayer in the middle of Italy. In 1989, the Vatican notoriously rejected Madonna's original music video for the song due to her use of religious iconography and themes of social justice and racial equality. Amber Glenn was embracing her rebellious persona by selecting this particular song. She was expressing her belief in the power of music, religion, and the freedom to be who she is. Although Amber said that the song is about discovering your own power, certain traditional Italian circles were uneasy about the selection. Some critics thought the routine, which included the burgundy corset outfit, was sacrilegious since the Milano Cortina Games were being hosted in a nation with strong Catholic ties. Was the judgment affected by this cultural conflict? Despite having excellent component ratings for presentation and artistry, she was unable to avoid the technical catastrophe of the faulty leap. The like a prayer ritual was meant to serve as a link between art and athletics, but in the end, the criticism may have imposed a burden that Amber was unable to get over. She wanted to give the song justice, but the request went unanswered under the Vatican's shadow. The consequences of Amber's 13th place result go much beyond her individual medal. It has destroyed the Blade Angel storyline that Team USA and NBC had been developing for many months. Isabel, Elisa Liu, and Amber Glenn, the Music Dream squad that broke the 20-year streak of American women winning individual medals, was intended to be Levito. The common dream is now in danger, even though Elisa Liu skated music, a magnificent personal best, to sit in third position. Amber is ranked 13th, while Isabel Levito is ranked 8th. It was devastating to see the difference between Elisa and Amber in the mixed zone. The rebel who gave up the sport and went back for pleasure, Elisa, seems unconcerned by the strain. Amber, who has battled for consistency throughout years of uncertainty and despair, seems to have been thoroughly consumed by the Olympics. According to one writer, no sporting event can eat athletes alive quite like the Olympics. We saw it with Ilya Molinin last week, and now we've seen it with Amber. This 13th place finish serves as a reminder that in figure skating, the difference between winning a gold medal and losing is about equivalent to the width of a skate blade. To become an icon, Amber Glenn traveled to Milan. She gave a warning about the terrible psychological effects of the games as she closed off the evening. Amber's success. Glenn is now reliant on Thursday night, February 19th, music. Despite having qualified for the free skate, she has very little chance of placing on the podium. In a tournament like this, she is 11 points behind the winner. She is incapable of climbing the peak. What is she doing now? She has two options. She may return to her role as the Rebel Queen, or she can play it safe to save her dignity. Seb McKinnon is scheduled to return to her free skate, a song that has previously been at the heart of a copyright dispute. The show is about figuring out how to get out of music, the shadows. These redemptive free skates have a precedence. Amber finished last in the short music program in the Grand Prix final in December after botching her triple axel. She then bounced back and crushed 8 triple music jumps in the free skate to earn 4th. To regain her honor, Amber Glenn does not need to take home a medal on Thursday. All she has to do is prove to the world that she can withstand the fall. The LGBT community as a whole, including with Taylor Swift and Madonna, have already shown their support for her. She now has to look inside herself for help. The brief individual program is already ended. In the records, 13th position is noted. However, the Renegade Queen gets 4 more minutes to tell her tale. Milan is observing. The Blade Angels are on the lookout. Amber Glenn is also getting ready for her last prayer.